suspect behind a brutal attack on an escalator at a Brooklyn subway station. Watch as the suspect kicked a woman in the chest and knocked her down and back. This happened last Thursday night at the Atlantic Avenue.
Woo! Yes! Welcome back to another episode of Not So Fake News! Yes! I missed you guys too! It's been a while! It's been a while! I might have had a bit of an accident, so we haven't been in the studios for a long time doing anything, and we got a whole plethora of stuff for you. You see that bitch getting kicked down that escalator? Holy shit, that's nuts! You can tell it's almost Christmas time, right? People getting desperate, don't want to buy gifts, don't want to be near your family. I would have been like, bah! Kick that bitch down the escalator too, man. Fuck you, buying you gifts. Another holiday season of shit we don't need. My God. So like I said, we have a gang of articles. We got a good one for you, and then unfortunately we got a shitty one for you. But apparently we have our correspondent down on the scene for the next video we're doing here. How do we plug him in? Just hit that button there. What's this guy's name? Yeah, who gives a shot? Anyway, Krusty, tell us about where you are.
Yep, good morning. I'm as close to the scene as I can get this morning, Jimmy, and it's crazy to think and stop and believe for a second that just right over there, about a mere 14,000 kilometers in that direction, there was a local hero held up with a knife.
So what do you mean? Like, what are you doing there? Why aren't you at the actual scene, man? What's going on? Tell me about that.
I would say studio budget cuts and COVID problems there, Jimmy.
You pedophile can't get across the fucking border? Like, what's your deal, man?
Fuck you, Jimmy. Fuck you.
All right, well, I guess that went well. Anyway, yeah, Krusty McGee there at the border. Somewhere. Anyway, so this article right now, it's about a guy in Glendale. I'm not sure if it's Glendale, Arizona. I'm not sure if it's Glendale, California, somewhere in Los Angeles. But this is a great story. He pulled out a knife on a police officer while firefighters are trying to hose down some houses. I don't know what we're going to call this one yet. The editors always do surprise things. I love them. They're fucking fantastic. This is great. Glad to be back. Let's get on with the shit.
A Glendale police officer and a man are injured after the said man pulled out a large knife, held it to himself, and then the officer tased him, causing him to fall on the knife. This happens on a Tuesday. Fucking Tuesdays! Oh man. Officers responded to reports of a suspicious fire just after 6 p.m. When officers arrived at the scene, they spoke with a man who was engaging in odd behavior, according to the police spokesman, Sergeant Randy Stewart. Oh, that Randy. The body camera footage released Wednesday shows the unidentified officer speaking to said man. After officers began to speak to the man, they found that he was associated with the burning home. The officer can be heard telling the man he cannot go back in his home. You can't go there. It's not safe. The officer then directed the man to grab a water bottle and move down the street, away from firefighters. The man instead decided to dump all the water onto the ground for some fucking strange reason, and the officer's quoted on saying, "Now maybe we can get out of their way so they can do their job." The man put the empty water bottle into a mailbox, and the officer continued to direct him out of the way. After returning to the officer's side, the man pulled out a knife. As soon as the officer saw the knife, he tried to grab it from him, which is dumb because cops always tell you to run from a knife, run toward a gun. Whatever. Is it tried, tested, and true? I don't know. The officer can be heard saying, "Let me have the knife. Put the knife down," which is a very cop thing to do. The man did not comply and walked away from the officer. Well, shortly after that, the man instead held the knife close to his neck and chest, which is the next, obvious move. The officer then pointed his taser at the man and once again told him to put down the knife. Lots of good dialogue used in this one. The man began falling to the ground, so the officer lunged to grab him, appearing to cut his own hand in the process. Ooh, that would fucking suck, man. The man hit the ground. The officer attempted to roll him over and, once again grab the knife. But the knife is in his neck. And the officer is heard saying that in the video if you actually listen really closely. It's kind of funny. A firefighter approached to assist the officer that saw the knife was in the man's neck. The firefighter managed to roll the man over onto his back by dragging him. That's a slick way to roll somebody on their back. New cop techniques. Yes, new cop techniques. I love it. And the video kind of just ends with the man in the fetal position. Knife stuck in his neck. The man was eventually treated for his injuries and transported to a hospital, but that's not before he was fighting off paramedics, not wanting them to treat his injuries on site. Police have not yet released his name, or the officer's name for that matter, and the investigation, rather, is ongoing. Anyway, where were we?
Oh my God, isn't that so fucking juicy? I cannot believe that shit. Like, that guy's crazy, man. Like, all kinds of crazy. And that's not even Florida yet, because we haven't even touched on Florida news. I am so excited to bring number 20. Number 20 is coming right around the corner. We're gonna keep non-stop spewing this shit at you guys. We have a lot of catching up to do. But this next article, it's Snickle Fritz. Definitely not my best work, but still, it's an article nonetheless. Let's get this one caught up with. It's about a crazy lady who just kind of broke into her house and just pretended it was hers, right? I mean, that's what COVID is doing to us right now. Just take what you want. Take it. Who gives a fuck? Pretend to kidnap children. Who gives a flying fuck? This is my house now. These are my kids. That's my fucking life. It's the new form of identity theft. Just do it. Everyone's too scared to go near each other, so why the fuck not? Anyway, fucking editors do what they do, baby. Here we go.
Police arrest a woman who they say made herself at home after breaking into a stranger's house in Coronado. This is gonna be great. It all started with the call from an out-of-town resident around 11 p.m. Thursday. They told Coronado Police Department that a relative who lives nearby noticed suspicious activity at their house on Alameda Boulevard. Officers showed up and confirmed that someone appeared to be inside. They found metal shavings on the ground and pieces of an old lock at the door. The neighbor provided a spare key. Police discovered a bizarre turn of events in the investigation. Someone had changed the fucking lock to the place! Ah! The resident confirmed that no one was supposed to be there, and they certainly hadn't asked for the lock to be changed. Kid, this is fantastic. It's like an old Dave Chappelle skit. Maybe I should leave Dave Chappelle alone right now. He's been getting enough flack. Anyway. Officers called for backup and started checking around the home, finding multiple doors were wide open in the back of the house. The fireplace was roaring and there was music playing, very romantic, and police could see that someone was moving around on the second floor. Police called for a sheriff's department helicopter to help them and a San Diego canine unit. Oh man, someone's in shit now. A few minutes later, a woman stepped out of the home, claiming the house was hers, and there were 2 children inside. Oh, I wonder where this is gonna go from here, baby. Officers took the woman into custody but held off on sending the dogs inside until they could confirm that there were no children in harm's way. You don't want to hurt the children! In the end, they found nobody else inside the house. The woman insisted that she belonged at the property and admitted she called the locksmith herself. She was arrested and charged with burglary, according to the CPD.
Anyway, that's our show for today. We have a whole bunch more coming for you. It's just going to keep coming and coming. So many crazy articles to cover. If you like what you've seen here, click on some of these things. And my producer keeps telling me to tell you to like, share, and subscribe. Fuck that motherfucker anyway. He hasn't done much for me. But yeah, anyway. Have a good day.